there is always a risk that the difficult, the awkward, the obscure will not be heard. Historically, Channel 4 has played this part, amongst others. It's not just the case that we can still do, we must do so. And for that reason, I believe the future for Channel 4 is very strong, as others take fewer risks, then by taking more, we stand out from the crowd. And I still think Channel 4 takes most of the risks. Indeed, the effect of Channel 4 on the BBC is a distinguished part of the ancestry to which I am heir. In news and current affairs, in comedy and drama, documentary, attitudes to race, sexuality, ethnicity, gender and disability, Channel 4 has always led the way. Now, this is the bit of the speech where someone should come on with a banner saying, OK, this is the bit of the speech where the chap from commercial broadcasting has a pop at the BBC. And so I'm going to. Not a big one, but there is no question that the BBC has the bulk of the responsibility for public service, and therefore feels the pressures I have described more than anybody else. It's a leviathan next to Channel 4, but I think it is a bit blander than it should be. We all know what I mean. The one show every night, the increasing number of soapy dramas, Casualty, Holby City, Holby Blue, Waterloo Road, and the real possibility of a 5th episode of EastEnders, and the factual output so dominated by soft focus, mountains, coasts, rivers, birds, heritage. There's nothing wrong with any of these shows individually, but together they all hum the same note, and I don't see how that's good for public service television. Away from the main channels, there is some risk-taking going on, but you're unlikely to chance upon it. The BBC should be leading the way with the new and the different and the challenging, and I don't think anybody believes they are to the extent that they should. Freed from commercial imperatives of any kind, the BBC can choose its own course. If it decides to copy formats in order to secure a ratings boost, then that choice is not forced upon it by commercial considerations. It is free not to do so. I'm saying this because I believe the BBC is the most important cultural institution in the country. I started my career there, and usually they do a fantastic job. But sometimes they seem to put ratings ahead of individually interesting programmes. I'm not saying the choice is without constraint. That old dilemma can feel sharp. Too many programmes that nobody watches, and the licence fee starts to look like a peculiar form of extortion. But all the same, risks can be run. The BBC seems to me hampered by its basic paradox. It's funded in a way that licenses the most risks, yet it takes the least risks of all of us. I'm sure they're addressing this. I just hope, like us, they're doing it now.